What's up, everyone? I'm Janitor Jake.
And I'm Chris K.
And welcome to the American Gaming Geeks.
What? Ready?
I don't want the likes of you watching my back! The chopper's waiting! You're done!
All right, and welcome back for another episode. Now, if you're new to the channel or you want to get right straight to the game, you can go to this number right here, and it'll take you right to the gameplay. Otherwise, we are going to get the show started.
All right,
and so today we're going to be going a little bit more old school and jumping back into a console that we have not played for quite a while.
Yeah.
And today we're going to be playing good old Jaws for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Good stuff. So this game is, of course, based off the movie Jaws. So how familiar are you with the movie Jaws?
I might have seen it when I was like somewhere between 5 and 10 and on a big movie marathon, and I don't remember a whole lot of it, if anything.
Yeah, and that's the problem with me. I never really grew up watching Jaws or Jaws 2 or any of that. And like I said, it was one of those things you turn the TV on, and you'd randomly like see it playing on like Turner Classic
AMC,
Movies or something.
Yeah, whatever it is.
So unfortunately, I'm not very familiar with the film. And apparently, from what I gathered, it's based more off of the third film.
Oh.
So there's like a
Okay.
lot of weird things like that.
I definitely haven't seen that.
And so, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to talk about how much the game is
Just like the movie.
Yeah, just like the movie.
So close, so uncanny.
Now, the thing is, we do have a little bit of experience with this game. I sat down and played it a while ago and got used to it, and I understand the concept, and I can beat it and everything, and so on and so forth. But you and I sat down one time. We were playing it for. We were going to play it for the show, but we had
Practice.
some. Yeah, it was pretty much practice.
Technical difficulties.
And so you are familiar a little bit with the gameplay elements.
Look of it and stuff, yeah.
So today the goal is to throw it in and see if we can beat it. And we want to do some experimenting, and I don't know. We'll just see what's going on. Do a little bit of looking around and see if we can't beat the son of a gun.
All right.
So I guess without further ado, let's pop the puppy in and get going. You ready to play?
I'm game. Are we going to need a bigger controller?
Probably. I know, scary. Look at that big scary jaws coming out of the water. Look at. All right, so to get the show started, I'm going to hand it off to you. So like I said, you're not very familiar with the game.
No.
You know a little bit, but I'll be your tour guide.
Oh, okay.
On
Thank you.
On this nice tour. It's a nice 3-hour tour.
A 3-hour tour. Oh. All right. Contra vibes here.
All right, so I don't know
Double Dragon
So
vibes.
if you remember, the basic gist of the game
Wander around.
is we're supposed to go from one port to the next.
We've hit something. Oh, I'm swimming now. So I gotta shoot things.
So yeah, you got to sit there. So the basic gist of
nothing.
the game is that, of course, Jaws is in the water, and we got to kill him, right? We got to find him and kill him. So what we need to do is we need to power ourselves up, because if we fight Jaws now, we're just way too weak. We can't do it. In order to power yourself up, we have to bounce back and forth between two different ports. Every time we go back and forth between the two different ports, we'll power ourselves up. Once we get to like power level 5, I think we should be safe, and we can then go and fight Jaws. Unfortunately, as we begin to power ourselves up, the creatures in the water also get more
that was close.
also get more powerful and a lot faster, and it becomes a lot more tricky. But this is the thing with the game, is it's super simple and basic. This is basically all you do.
Yeah.
You shoot these creatures, and you try to collect the shells. Which
Remember that part of Jaws?
Oh,
where
collect
you...
that, too.
Oh, crabs.
So the crab will actually speed us up.
Huh. So if you want to go faster, get crabs. Oh, my gosh.
And so now, once again, this is basically all the entire game is shooting these different aquatic creatures. You
Underwater
like that?
shoot 'em
Ooh,
up.
Aquatic creatures.
Yeah.
The stars
Ooh.
act as points,
Oh.
and I think when you get to like 30,000 points, you can unlock a
Crabs.
submarine, but you got to find the submarine. There's crabs, and crabs will speed you up, kind of like in Dragon Spirit for the NES.
Oh, no. Oh, my gosh, that was close.
That was lucky. And that's the other issue that we started noticing is that when you die in this game, it like really
Oh my gosh!
like that. It'll really punish you. There goes all our like half our shells. It's like at this point you might as well just reset the game, but we'll just keep going.
We'll see what happens.
Because you lose your power levels too,
And the speed too, right?
Yeah, you lose your speed, you lose your power, you lose half your shells.
Okay.
It like cuts everything.
I remember
in
we
half.
were going up here. Oh my gosh, what is this? Tell me Jaws isn't here already. I saw his fins. Ah!
So whenever you see Jaws in the water, you generally want to avoid him until you're powerful enough to kill him.
Oh, there he is.
But that'll happen. If he's close enough, he could just randomly show up. But otherwise, it's pretty simple. There is a weird trick, whereas if like you go to the very top and you come down a single pixel, he won't actually be able to hit you.
Oh.
But you have to time that perfectly so that
Getting in the way.
you're down so perfectly that you can just spam shoot at him. So the points are basically just what they are, points. Except if you get to 30,000, you'll unlock a submarine, which you have to go and find.
Oh, I see.
And that speeds you up, and you can shoot bombs out of that, too.
Yeah, that seems worth it.
So that's why it's like you just have to like spam shoot everything.
Whoa, they're really going fast now. Holy cow, what happened?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, what I don't understand with this game is it's like the farther and more you progress, everything gets harder and faster, which I get, but it also doesn't reset when you die.
Oh, well,
so according to this game, it probably thinks we should be at like level 3 by now.
It thinks we're a master player now because I'm just so good.
Yeah, and so now it's just gonna like keep getting harder and harder.
Oh, bonus scene.
So here's that weird where you speed up the airplane, you slow it down, and you have to try to time it to do it with those.
Oh, I'm the plane. That's right. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm really not good at this. I was just noticing how much this song sounds like the Buckaroo Banzai theme song.
Yeah, and so here's where it's like, here you'd slow the plane down.
Oh, you can slow it down and speed it up. That's right.
Yeah, and so the more you play and the more you get used to it, you'll get used to knowing when to speed it up and when to slow it down. Like here, start slowing it down, and then, okay, you can start spamming it. Okay, now speed it up to catch up to them.
It's like firing the shots. You can only shoot 3 at a time, it appears.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why'd you slow down for?
It sent me in there. It's like, okay, there you go. And then it's like, there's no jellyfish. I'm like, where are they? I'm like waiting for them. They don't show up.
All right, so now
there's a port. That's a port. Now you can track Jaws with a receiver. Okay.
So now we got to go back to the other port.
Oh.
The receiver is weird because it'll beep like the closer you are to Jaws.
I hear it beeping.
But it's like, what's the point? Because you'll just randomly run into them anyway. So yeah, we'll putz around this area.
Oh, I did a good job this time.
We did have enough shells to go here. All right, cool.
All right.
I thought you had to be at 8, but...
Oh.
So now we're at power level 2. So now we'll go back down.
Ah!
Oh, so this is going to be a pain because...
Shallow water here.
Yeah, it's shallow in here.
Right away, get hit by Jaws.
And like I said, this is where it's like you almost have to play like defense. Because if you just start like swimming around, now there goes half our shells, and now we're down in power.
Well, that stink.
It's like now we're at the very beginning of the game again, but with only 1 life.
And everything's fast still. Oh man, I just missed him. See, the last time we did this, I was like, every split second was like running into, we hit something, we hit something, we hit something, we hit something. And it's like now we're just like plowing through like nothing. Oh no.
Yeah, we need more shells.
Oh no. Oh, that was so lucky. Oh, I was so lucky. So I may as well just like wander around here. So the left button actually shoots bombs left, and the right button shoots the bombs right.
Yeah, when you're in the boat.
It's kind of like punching on, what was it?
Double Dragon 2.
Double Dragon 2.
Yeah, that's the thing with this game, is if you die, like, it really does feel like it punishes you big time.
That's crazy.
Oh, and that's the other thing, too. A lot of times, they won't give shells.
Yeah, that's true. I noticed that.
It did that to me once a long time ago.
Jeepers.
And you could explore and go around, like, let's go to the right, what's over here? And it's like, what, nothing.
Nothing. It's a very small map. So this gives me vibes of Super Battleship, Super Battleship. And they had the ability to have a way bigger map. I mean, just look at Mario, for crying out loud. They could have given us a massive map, and they did not.
Yeah, so the map in here is very small, and even if you go around and explore, you don't get anything.
Jeepers! I wasn't trying to go up. I was trying to go left, and you just like kept flying up. All right, whatever. It's your
Give me
turn.
that thing. So I'm gonna do it now. Daddy will do it.
You do it.
Daddy janitor.
I don't want to do it. Daddy janitor? Creepy.
All right, so I'm gonna go down here. So I know I need to go to the other port. I'll try it, because if you just try to go back into the same port, I don't think anything happens. Nothing. It doesn't even tell you you don't have any shells or anything. So now I'm gonna try to spam all this. Spam fire.
It's kind of like life. If you want to succeed, no one will tell you what you don't have.
But see, look at this. No shells. It's not dropping anything. And that's how a lot of this game will get like that. It's like, okay. Not a single shell has been dropped yet. Except you get crabs.
You got to get crabs. Like, that's the best.
Oh, and here's the thing, too. You see him coming out? Now, he'll come out right about here.
Yeah.
So they do kind of do this cool loop around.
So you got, I guess those are stingrays? That's a lot of stingrays. Oh, man.
Egg nabbit.
There's like little baby sharks running around here.
Yeah, every once in a while you get these smaller ones. I like the smaller ones because it's guaranteed you'll get a shell.
Yeah.
Look how much I've been playing so far and not a single shell is dropped.
Yeah, what the heck is going on? And this is like after a game over. This is completely reset. I was looking up, like...
Holy cow!
Wow, you got a shell? Wow, no way. I was looking up how does random stuff work in Nintendos. And so... There's a few clever tricks that they do. I guess there isn't something like trying to get static from the air or something to make random numbers. It actually has like repetition counters and stuff like that, and timers and whatever that allow it to pick a random number based on, and it's also based on your button pushes and stuff like that. How many times you've hit push buttons when, so they can come up with random numbers that way.
Yeah, I've seen videos that, like, usually if you watch, like, games done quick or, like, the Speed Demons and stuff, I've seen things where somebody did, like, a speed run of Dragon Warrior, which is an open-world RPG.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, yeah, he figured out the random number generator thing. And it's like, how do you figure that out?
You can't just figure that out.
But it was like they were sitting there doing it. He was like, okay, if I walk up this way and go to the left, go to the right, go down, go up, and go to the right again, I'll trigger this monster to come out. And it was like, holy cow.
I guess if it's pretty, like, simple...
Dancing along now to the pretty little music. Cool.
It's the same tune. Do you think they stole that from this game?
Maybe.
Like the creators of Pink Fong or whatever just sitting there playing this game. They're like, hey, let's just steal this and make it a song about baby sharks.
You know, only got 18 hits. Well, maybe
remember that part
more.
of Jaws where they're flying around in a plane, dropping like hundreds of bombs on jellyfish?
Exactly. It's like that's got to be
It's
expensive.
Like spot on. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Using all the gas for your plane and dropping all that weaponry just to kill fish.
Yeah. All the fuel. They're like carrying hundreds of bombs on board.
So
Drop the depth charges.
Simply so you could collect shells.
Yeah. We'll get the seashells yet, and we'll defeat Jaws by powering up with these seashells.
And that's the thing we got to be careful of, too.
Huh.
Sometimes I like just chilling up in here.
Yeah.
Because if you get too far down, the jellyfish can start coming out.
Yeah, if you're like... I like to hang out on the bottom because, like, you can avoid a lot of stuff, but then the jellyfish just get you right in the belly.
Yeah, because the controls in here are kind of weird. It's got, like, that weird momentum. It's like, push down. Okay, now go up. And he's like,
Yeah.
All right, so now I'm going to come over here and try to get the receiver. Okay. That's the other thing that I don't like is when we have enough shells and it's like, just get to the next port. And they'll be like, you hit something. And then you go to move like a pixel and it's like, you hit something. So yeah, now see, you can see it's changing it up already. It's like, okay, all just nothing but jellyfish.
Just jellyfish. Terrible. Oh.
Like that.
Right in the belly.
It's like, there goes everything.
Yeah.
All your shells that you collected, gone. And you, like, drop down in power. That's why you learn, it's like, okay, I'll just hang up here then.
I remember when I got stung by a jellyfish, and then I dropped down in power and lost half my shells.
Like I said, that's the thing with the controls. It's like, why didn't you stop? I did. You go, watch. So I'll go down. Now go up now. And he's like,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to say. Like, I wasn't trying to go up that one time. I was trying to like stop and go forward, but he kept drifting up. Part of it might have been the way my finger was positioned on the controller, but...
Yeah, like here, I'll really show it when you go on the bottom here. It's like, okay, I'll go to the right. Okay, go to the left, and he's like sliding.
Yeah.
It's like he's on ice.
Yeah, underwater, on ice. Jaws on ice. Think anyone's ever done that?
Here I'm going to slow down. Okay, speed up. Okay, slow down, speed up. Okay, now I got to speed up, get through there. Okay, now I'm going to slow down. Okay, now I'm going to speed up, get through there. Okay. And as you can tell, Jaws has a power level down there.
Oh. It goes back up, though,
And so,
right?
yeah, eventually it will start going back up on its own, which is annoying. That's why I try to avoid him as much as I can. Now look at this. Now we're going to get the jellyfish that do the back and forth garbage.
Oh, they're zigzagging. They're coming in like crazy now.
And then there's stuff like that, too, where it's like it just won't acknowledge. It's like... There are times where I'll shoot him, the like smaller baby shark, and it doesn't take as many hits. And then other times I just have to like unload on him. It's like, nope, not gonna die, not gonna like there. That was quick. Then other times it just doesn't do it. Like what time is it? Not gonna die o'clock.
Adventure time. I wouldn't know about stuff like Baby Shark if I didn't have a kid. I mean, I've seen the media for it. Like, I thought Baby Shark was like a thing. Like, oh, the Baby Shark cartoons. Like, no, that's not even a thing. There is no Baby Shark cartoons. There's Cocomelon, and then sometimes they sing the Baby Shark song and have like a video with Baby Shark swimming around. But that's it. And it's like Baby Shark became this massive thing, even bigger than Cocomelon. And it's like, wait a second, they're not even characters in a thing. They're stuffed animals in a kids show.
Yeah.
I don't Maybe I don't have the full story on it. I feel like something's missing.
That's just weird though, like with the way the internet and the world is now anyway. It's like just random things will go trending.
Yeah.
Even though like it has like that. Like that's what I mean. You want to do it?
I'll give it a shot. Yeah, it's basically doing nothing to him right now.
Yeah, you did drop his power level, but yeah, like if you just sit here and unload on him, it won't hardly do anything. So it's like that's why at the early levels, it's like I want to try to keep away from him at all costs.
He's like guarding the enemies that I want to hit. Nothing. No shells. Lightning doesn't strike twice, right?
I never understood that either. Like, lightning never strikes the same place twice. Like, okay.
But it does.
What about radio towers? What about lightning rods? It only hits it once, and that's it?
So, I biffed this now. Let's go to the bottom of the map.
Well,
I never
here,
see
you
Jaws
know what?
down
Since
here.
you already...
Okay, alright, just reset it.
Even though the designs in here are very simple and basic, and there's not a lot, I do kind of like the design and look of the game. I especially like the... Yeah, now you're going to have to like play super defense and just watch that. Like, stay in the middle and like just dodge everything. Especially if it's going to be doing that. Like I said, I really enjoy the look, but I really love the look of the shallow area because you get something different.
Yeah.
You get like the lighter sand and the grass and everything, the seaweed growing up.
And I remember trying to stay near the shore so I could experience the shallow area a little bit, but no, it didn't. It still gave me the deep end.
Yeah, so if you like...
I got 2 shells, that's it. Get out of here.
See, and that's the thing with this game is like I wish they would have rewarded you more for exploring.
Yeah.
Like going down, maybe there'd be like something else down there you could get, or going over to the right. But in a sense of the word, this game is almost like just a glorified Atari game. It's really simple.
Yeah. And you were saying that people are playing it online. Oh no, I missed the crab. No.
Yeah, people who play this online...
There we go.
If you watch other people play it online, it's like they'll speedrun the thing in like 2 minutes. It's like they just do this perfect.
Yeah.
It's like every single creature they shoot drops a shell. And then the final battle with Jaws, it's like it's simple. Like Jaws will just... I'm hoping it does it to us this time like it did last time. But when people play the game online, when other people play the game online and Jaws is attacking, Jaws will just come straight for them. They attack and kill Jaws. Done. For us, Jaws is like zigzagging all over the place. And it's like really hard to line it up.
Great! I successfully missed every single one against odds.
Don't hit the birds in the water.
The birds? Oh yeah, those little birds. I see. Yeah, because when you're in school, that's how you draw birds. Little seagulls. Little. Whoop, whoop. But they look like they're upside down. They're all the birds. They just want to belly up. Just belly up birds in the water.
And that's kind of cool too. It's like you get to see something different.
Okay, so now yeah, I have to watch it that I don't overshoot and hit an enemy.
Yeah, like I said, it'd be awesome if we came over here and you could go into an area and like grab some, or if it brought us into a different area that doesn't look exactly the same.
There's the seashells. I mean the No! I thought I could go further right.
And that's what's nice too, is like the idea like you can time the look at that. You can time like the stingrays going through.
Oh, yeah.
So you know like, oh, he's gonna go through, so you know where he'll pop up at.
Yeah, he always pops up a little higher. And then Sharky's gonna show up.
Chalky?
Chalky? Sharky. Who's Chalky?
You ever heard of Chalky? Half man, half shark?
No. What?
Freaking Cabin Boy.
Oh. Okay.
You ever see that movie Cabin Boy?
No. Frick! He just went flying. I'm like, no, go around him.
And the thing is, too, it's like, oh, we're at 30,000. Can you go get the submarine? I don't think so because we died. So it's like it reset the counter over.
Oh.
It's like for certain things it'll reset the counter and other things it won't.
It doesn't show us that it reset it, but... What? What was that? It just completely glitched out.
I have no clue.
That was crazy. Uh-oh. Blip, 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 blip.
That's what I mean.
Blip, blip.
It's like, oh, better hunt down Jaws. It's like, no, you just sit still.
He's gonna get you.
And he'll come at you anyway. It's like it's an inconvenience is what it is. It's weird that, like, these stingrays, like, you shoot them and you get shells.
Yeah.
But then they also drop starfish, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And then crabs. Like, giant, massive ones. Look at the glitch on the right.
Whoa, what is that on the right? What the heck? What game was that? It's like, Where's Waldo is happening on the right side of the screen. I don't know what that is.
Oh, the submarine is down there. Go and grab it.
Hang on, I gotta die first.
So I have this friend named Dave. Everyone calls him David because he's from Mexico.
Uh-huh.
So he's born and raised in Mexico, and he can speak both Spanish and English like fluently.
Yeah.
Like whatever, both his first language or whatever. So everyone calls him David.
Uh-huh.
But I asked him one time because there was times where I was in Mexico, and I'm like, I know I don't have the...
Oh, frick, I didn't mean to go up that far. All right, whatever.
Beautiful.
Frick.
But anyway, I was talking to David, and I was like, I know that I don't have the Spanish accent, but, like, if I'm walking in Mexico, like when we were on the trips and everything, you'd go and you'd talk to, like, people, and you'd be like, hola, and they understand completely fine. Now, it's been a while. I can't speak Spanish very well, but if I wanted to say, like, hi, my name is Jake, you'd say something like,
¿Cómo está?
yeah, you'd be
Mi
like,
amo es Jake.
yeah, mi amo Jake or whatever. Mi amo Jake.
¿Dónde está el baño?
But every time I would do that, and we had translators over there, I asked David this. I said, every time I'm over there and I'm talking to people and I go, hola, mi amo Jake, they're like, ¿Qué? ¿Qué? Looking at me all confused.
Yeah.
And I have to keep doing it. And I'd look at the translator, and the translator would actually like roll her eyes, and then she'd say, his name is Jake. And I asked the translator, I'm like, what's up with that? And they're like, I don't know. They're like, they obviously understand what you're saying, but it's like they'll just go out of the way to like act like they don't.
Huh.
And I asked David that too. He's like, yeah, he's like, for some reason they do that. Like, I didn't even finish telling them the story. Like, as soon as I said I would talk to them in Spanish, he already knew that I was going to tell them if they couldn't understand me.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, how do they not understand me?
They just like doing that to irritate you, or what?
I don't know. But it's like if I tried doing it with like a slight accent, like, oh, hola, mi amo Jake. They don't understand that. I have to be like, hola, mi amo Jake.
Yeah.
And it's like they'll finally get it. Because I did do that to him one time. I was talking to David. I was writing a song, and I wanted to have this line in Spanish.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to... I don't know if I can remember it. Hay una pantera rosa orinando en las árboles.
Okay.
And it's like, okay. So I asked David, I'm like, can you understand this? And I go, hay una pantera rosa orinando en las árboles. And he was like, listening, he's like, I don't know, it sounds really weird. What are you saying? I said, do it again. And so I did it again. Hay una pantera rosa orinando en las árboles. And he was like, that's really hard to understand. And I go, okay, here. I uno Pantera Rosa Orinando en las Arboles. He's like, oh, I know what you said now. It's like, but he said the same thing. He says, it almost sounds gibberish when I'm speaking.
Oh, maybe you're slurring it so much.
That's what I was thinking.
Because accents have a certain degree of like slurring it, but maybe if you're slurring it wrong, I don't know.
That's what I was wondering. Is it's like maybe that's what it was sounding like to him. It was just a big slur. Like instead of saying, "Hey, how you doing?" You're just saying, "Hey, how you doing?"
Huh?
Hey, how you doing?
I never like encountered that with like between me and my wife, she speaks primarily Tagalog, and I never encountered that problem. Like people or her, like family or her saying that they can't understand something I say because I do a weird accent or something. It's like it's usually, you know, if I say something, they'll recognize what I'm saying. I don't know why. Like I don't have that same problem with like what you might have with Mexican accents or something.
Yeah, because the only other thing I could think of, because I've experienced it in real life, it's like when you're talking to somebody in English,
yeah,
and they slur something, you're like, what? What the heck?
Just out of nowhere, just bam. Look, your ship is just destroyed. I never noticed that. Isn't that like, am I seeing that wrong, or is your ship kind of messed up?
It looks like the front of it's like all messed up. This is where it's going to do that thing where we talked about where it's like every 2 seconds now you hit something, 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 you hit something.
Now we're going to be on that. Just stuck hitting everything. You can't finish playing the game.
And now the game thinks like we're professionals because I've been playing for so long. Still at level 1.
Yo, watch your belly.
He sticks to the ground. Up, up, up!
Yeah.
He sits there.
There's that momentum thing.
Thank goodness. Now I'm going to try to go to the other port and level up. Hopefully I don't hit anything. That's what I find so interesting about a game like this, is it's like, oh, you're playing the game. It's fun, right? It's like, but it gets so annoying. It's like, I'm glad that I'm not playing the game. It's like, holy cow. Whatever recordings you got, you could always bring over to the studio and we can throw everything in there and tweak both of them or however many you got. What are you bothering me for? So I should answer the phone. What are you bothering me for? Alright, so now that you got back from going wee-wee, look what I found.
Oh, you found a submarine?
So yeah, I found it buried way off in no man's land. This is what I mean, like I love that you can shoot the bombs.
Huh.
They go a lot slower, but it helps when there's things like down below.
You know, not to go Baby Shark on you again, but it looks like JJ's submarine from Cocomelon that he has in the bath time when he's singing the Baby Shark song. I don't think it's a coincidence, man. I think it's solely based on this game. So you got the bombs now, too, and those little torpedo things. They're just nice. Except they're just like zigzag. Yeah, they're really coming for you.
So that's the thing with this game. Everyone's like, oh yeah, super simple, easy, ha-ha, pretty little game. Okay, now I'm going to see if I can deal with Jaws here.
Huh. The Jaws of life. Alright, now... Still got bombs, which is not...
Yep, there it went. See, this is what I mean. My problem is we powered up and the game thinks I'm an absolute expert.
Yeah.
So now it's just going to go crazy. Look at this. Look at all the jellyfish, and they just won't stop. They just won't stop. And look at that. They target you.
It's all over the place. Heat-seeking gel. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, we're screwed now.
We're going to need a bigger boat.
Start all over. That's what like, my power level is done again.
Nonsense.
So now it's like I just have to shut my mouth, sit here, and concentrate as hard as I can possibly concentrate.
Crazy.
That was one of the big complaints that I did hear about this game, is that if you do try to, like, level up and get, like, quote-unquote, get good, they just, like, do that. They're like, oh, you're good now, here. And it's like, holy cow, like, I can't move.
Huh.
And then the momentum, This just won't stop. These guys I actually don't mind.
They're kind of nice. Oh, 2 of them in one.
Yeah, it's just going to be all these giant sharks. It's like, well, good. At least they're slow.
Giant
and now
sharks.
I'm guaranteed shells.
Oh, one's faster than the other one. You see that?
Yeah. Well,
Weird.
I could have been shooting them and slowing them down.
Oh, yeah. You slow one down with the bullet, and the other one surpasses the other one. That's crazy. I see how that happens.
But it's like, at least here, like, I don't have 50 million jellyfish.
I like this. It's like all sharks. Like, you're just going to get tons of shells now.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like a lot more calming. It's like good because they're moving a lot slower. Yes, they take a few more hits, but it's like good. At least they calm down.
You get 21 shells here.
Oh, come on. Like how you don't have enough crap going on.
The jellyfish are protecting Jaws right now.
And that's the thing that's stupid with the submarine. One hit and your submarine is toast. It's like a jellyfish hit my submarine.
Yeah.
And it's destroyed.
Yeah. It got sucked into the motor. It's just like pigeons in planes.
And now it's going to be every 10 seconds.
Yeah.
You hit something, you hit something, you hit something.
They say that jellyfish don't actually die. They're like immortal.
Yeah.
Because like when they die, they just revert back to a larval form, and then I don't know if we want to call it a larval form, but
So what happens if you throw it in a fire?
no, it comes back with vengeance. Fire jelly. Like a phoenix.
So we cracked the score of 100,000.
Huh.
I want to try to find that submarine again, so I'm going to go and look. I just get sick and tired of hitting stuff. I should be at a high enough level that I can take on Jaws now, but this is what's going to be garbage, is just goofing around. And the more we keep
Three of them.
The more we keep fooling around like this, the more of a chance there is that I'm going to die.
Wouldn't it be crazy?
There it is.
Never mind.
So now I'm going to try to do this, and now I'm going to try to find Jaws. But now I have to sit here and be careful. Play super defense.
Yeah. Super defense, brothers.
There, now okay, now I'm going to try doing this.
Okay.
Great. And I'm in shallow.
I thought you were going to say you're in shock. Yeah, it's hard to avoid anything. Nice.
I'm hoping this actually, like, it's like just absolute chaos.
It is.
But everyone else who plays this online is like, easy. Easy. It's just such an easy, simple game. And there's like 3 fish flying around, too.
Yeah.
No jellyfish. They're just dealing with like one stingray.
Sharks. Yeah, I would have died.
Okay, here we go. Here's where the boss battle is weird. So you just have to wait for him, and then you hit A and hit B and stab him. He did it. He did it perfect.
Oh, wow.
Last time when he played,
I know.
he didn't do that. He was like zigzagging. It took us like an hour to do it.
Piers on the side, piers on that side. Finally.
It was like, oh, he's coming. No, he's going this way, and you have to chase him.
I love how we were like complaining about like all this stuff happens for other people. Oh, this is it?
Yes, now we beat the game. Nightmare on Elm Street now.
Yeah,
There's a bunch of, look at all the birds flying.
See, I don't remember all the tunes from Jaws, but I don't feel like this is the iconic tune. I didn't hear any bottom, bum 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 bum. Instead, it's like do 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 do. It's like, what is this? And then this.
It could be from Jaws 3, though.
Maybe Maybe John Williams didn't do the music for Jaws 3. I don't know.
All right, so that was good old Jaws for the Nintendo Entertainment System. So, what did you think of it?
I mean, they had so much potential. I mean, look at Super Battleship. I mean, I know that wasn't exactly the same console, but Super Battleship had expansive worlds in the same kind of style where you're moving around and then the enemy has a chance to move around and then you move around. I mean, I know it's not like a board game style kind of thing, but it kind of feels like that when you can only like move a few pixels and all of a sudden you got to enter into this like mini game again to gather shells. And it turns out that's most of the game. The first time we tried this, when you kept hitting all that stuff to gather shells all the time, move a pixel and then you have to gather more shells. It was hard to figure out that there was even a point to the map, that there was things on the map. It's like, I don't know, if you didn't tell me about it, I wouldn't have known that there was another port to get to.
Yeah.
Of course, we don't have the manual.
Yeah, this is
either,
where the manual would have came into play.
Yeah.
But yeah, like what you were talking about, the gameplay element, like the gameplay itself is like very small. It feels like a glorified Atari game.
Yeah.
You have like a single stage. The stage is not very big. You putz around. But what is the gameplay? You literally go from port 1 to port 2 and back and forth.
Yeah.
But in order to do that, you need to collect shells. So you go swimming around and shoot these creatures.
Yeah.
And you were talking about Battleship. Like, yes, Battleship was released on whatever, the Genesis and stuff. But it's like, even comparing games, this came out in 87. But we had games like Super Mario Brothers that came out in 85.
Yeah, very expansive maps.
So it's like they could have done a lot more with this.
They really could have, yeah.
But yeah, like you said, you didn't really like the game, and I'm not a big fan of the game either. It's
Yeah.
one of those things like once you get used to,
Yeah.
but it's like it gets boring, and it
Yeah.
really punishes you for dying.
Yeah, for making a mistake.
Yeah, one little mistake, there goes half your shells.
It almost punishes you for succeeding, because the
Yeah.
better you get at it, the worse it's going to come at you, too.
Yeah, and that would be the interesting thing is to try to look, I don't know if you can look at it in the coding or even go online to see what other people say.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like you start off at level 1, everything's normal, everything's fine.
Yeah.
And then you start leveling up, okay, you're getting better. Of course, the enemies are going to increase. But you die, you lose half your shells, you lose your power, but the enemies stay the same. And they're like, no, we still think you're a professional. So you're really slow, and now there's jellyfish.
Yeah,
everywhere, and
true.
it becomes so chaotic.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If they were to give you upgrades, it wouldn't be that big of a deal if things got more chaotic. As long as you kept evolving with them. As you evolve, they evolve, and everything kind of still stays even.
Right.
But it feels like you go up a little bit, and the enemies just do this.
Yeah.
And just keep increasing more and more. And it's like, this is ridiculous. And I mean, you just saw the final time before I got into the boss fight with Jaws.
Yeah.
It was chaos.
It was.
And I was just happened to be in shallow water,
Just
too. And I was like...
I would have lost 20 times in a row if I had to deal with that. There's no way I could get through that. But it's like you say, it's like a small game with a bunch of little mini games in it, and the only thing that makes it take a while to play if you're not familiar with it is the fact that they just make it insane, and they make it insanely difficult. Like well, maybe we can take away a lot of your stuff to make the game last longer. Maybe we can make the enemies way worse a million times, multiplied all over the screen. Like that'll make it a better game. It doesn't make it a better game. It doesn't increase the replayability. There's the timing aspect of it. Is like if you can fly around in that ship and hit every single jellyfish, that's a part of the actual game. But it's like you get to a certain point where there's not enough to a game where you have to start setting your own benchmarks to reach. And at that point, it's like, okay, now I'm a speedrunner, and I'm going to design my own benchmark, and I have to do it. And I'm making another game within the game because the game itself doesn't have enough replayability.
Yeah, and that's what we found. It's like you almost have to do your own experiments. Like, well, let's try this. What happens if we get to 100,000 points?
Yeah.
Let's explore the map, and it's like you're done. So it's like, oh, do I go and bump into this little area? What if I do this? It's like, who knows? Because the game is so simple. You have a map, and the only two things on that map are the ports. Go back and forth. If you get enough points, you can go and look for the submarine. But the map is so short that you can find it right away. But that's it. You only get the submarine. And then what's the next gameplay? You go down in the water and shoot a bunch of stingrays and jellyfish and sharks.
Yeah.
And you only have two areas. You have the shallow and the deep area. And like what we were saying before, last time when we played, and it did it a little bit here, it's like you do that battle. You're like, okay, good. Now I'm going to get to the port. You move a pixel. Oh, you hit something. Do this whole battle again.
Yeah.
You do it again. Okay, now I'm going to go to the port. You move a pixel, you hit something, do it again. And it's like, really?
Yeah.
And this is where we end up with over 100,000 points and like 50 shells. Because we're just doing nothing but this, and you can't get to the port to level up to fight Jaws.
Yeah. Like you said, when we first did a run through of this one, stabbing Jaws. He would come up over on the side. He's like, okay, let's wait again, and he comes up over on the other side. I don't even remember if we had to do that a couple of times. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we had to do a Jaws battle a few times because we ran out of the
stabby things.
Yeah, the stab things that you do it. Because he'll be coming at you. You get him lined up, and then he just goes off on his own. You try to catch up, and then he's like zigzagging, then he bounces and goes back.
Yeah, and we were, I was going to say this earlier, but it's funny how we were in the first time complaining about all these people, like, oh, we do it, and it's like, it's terrible for us. It's not working for us. Everybody online does it, and it's just like super simple, super easy. And then we play it the second time, and it's like, oh, well, why is it working for us?
Yeah.
We're not going to complain, I guess. Now it's finally working.
Yeah, I guess that's one of the main reasons why I also created this show, was because a lot of people online, I feel like, take a game like this, like, oh, Jaws, I've never played it. They play it the first time, and everything just went perfect.
Yeah.
And they sped run the thing, and they're like, oh, what an easy, simple game. It's actually kind of boring because of how easy it is, and I beat it in 3 minutes. It's like, because they're not experiencing it how we are.
Yeah.
Where you just get random junk happening.
They don't have any of the challenges showing up for some reason. Like they just got really lucky, and it could be that they're just such a good gamer that they beat like all the things, and then they just missed out on a bunch of opportunities to experience any of the stress.
Yeah. The submarine is dumb too. It's like, oh, you get an upgrade, you get your submarine. The one that'll hit, you're done.
Yeah.
A jellyfish touches it, you're done.
Yeah.
It's like, it's cool having it, and it's really helpful, but you have to play super defense so you don't lose it. And then you get the receiver. Like, what's the point of that? To hear it beep when Jaws comes? You could literally just sit still, and Jaws will come after you.
Yeah.
You don't have to track him down.
Yeah.
All right, so as far as the price of the game goes, loose like this, you can pick it up for about $2,000.
What?
Oh, my bad. You can pick up the 5-screw version. Mine is only the 3-screw.
Oh, okay. It's
So
got
if
a few
you have,
screws loose.
if you have the 5-screw version, it's like $2,000 for that thing.
Why?
But this game loose will run you about $12.
Okay. Just put a couple extra screws in it.
Exactly.
Just.
If you want it complete with the box and the manual, it'll run you about $75. So, do you think the gameplay is worth $75 complete or $12 loose?
No.
Is the gameplay worth it? Like we've said before, and I'll say a million times, if the game is so rare it's worth $2,000 or $1 million bucks,
Yeah.
people will go out and buy it because of the rarity, and they'll buy it anyway, so it doesn't matter. But we're talking about the gameplay.
They don't even have to be gamers, and they'll spend that much money on it.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, would you be willing to download this thing for like $12? You know what I mean? So it's like,
definitely not. That's not worth the experience.
yeah, I definitely do not think it's worth $12. This is one of those games like $3 because it did take us a little while to beat.
Yeah.
It took us a little while to get used to the concept, and I feel like $3 it would be worth it. Pay $3, get the game, play it, and it's like, yeah, that's not too bad.
If I'm thinking about like, there's so many games out there for free, and we've talked about that before. It's like we have to consider the genre, the era in which it came out, and like all things considered, like I could expect a game like this to either be free or up to $3 in an app store, to download on your phone.
Yeah, because we could easily even say this game and compare it to something like Skyrim.
Right.
And Skyrim, like the Legendary Edition on PS4, is cheaper than that. You can buy that game for like $4.
Yeah.
And yet this one is $12.
Yeah. So I like to consider like what it's worth. Like I go into a pawn shop. Typically, a game like this, and I'm going on the last 10 years because I haven't been to a pawn shop or seen any of these in stores even. The pawn shop I used to see these kinds of things at went out of business. So, because their prices were too high, I think. But I would see that sort of thing for about $5.
Yeah.
And I would expect a reseller to sell it for about $5. I would expect someone selling it out of their collection to sell it for $1 or $3. And I think that's what it's worth.
Yeah, if you were to see this at a game store, they'd probably have a price tag of like $10, maybe down to $8, and then when nobody's buying it, you'll see it eventually in the clearance aisle.
Yeah. This game, obviously, that's not going to happen because of the value of it, but the game itself, I mean, it's a $1 to $5 game for me because when you look at it, it's like Super Mario Brothers, on the same console.
Yeah, Super Mario Brothers came out before this game. It blows this game out of the water.
Literally.
There's so many other games that came out before it, just way better.
Yeah.
All right, so as far as the amount of time it took for us to beat this game,
Yeah.
I think it took us doing full-blown playthrough, dying a few times, and really getting and racking up the points. Took us maybe about an hour.
Oh, okay.
Took us about an hour to do that.
All right.
Like I said, most people online, they do like speed runs of this. And
Yeah.
we didn't even do the trick, but there's a trick where you can get up and then drop down a pixel, and Jaws will just run back and forth. And you can
Misses
just,
you.
Yeah, he doesn't hit you, but you can still hit him.
Interesting.
So, but there's people that'll speed run it and beat it in like 5 minutes.
Huh.
Otherwise, yeah, I think if you really sat down and really took your time, you could probably beat it in like 30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah.
That's, of course, estimating that you're not dying and having stupid little things come up, and also not being stopped every 20 pixels.
True.
And like just constantly having to do the farming. It's like that's what it is.
Frustrating.
You're shell farming.
Shell farming.
But you don't have a choice in the matter.
Yeah.
It just randomly happens.
It's clearly like just a game for game's sake. Like it doesn't make any logical sense. Like the sharks and the jellyfish and the stingrays are all like attacking you, and they're all dropping shells or crabs. It's like that doesn't happen. You're not dropping hundreds of bombs from a plane to kill jellyfish. That's not even in the movie. There's nothing to do with anything.
Unless they did it in Jaws 3.
I mean, maybe it's like we have to clear the jellyfish out. We drop the depth charges so we can get to Jaws. I don't know.
And that's the thing. Unfortunately, I'm not familiar with the movie franchise, and you're not very familiar with it.
It's like if there was a parallel in the movie, then yeah, forgive my cinema sins here. Oh, that's another channel. I'm sorry.
Anyway, so that was Jaws on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Like I said, it's not worth the $12 that they're asking. To me, it's like maybe a $2 or $3 game. The gameplay is very short, very simple. But the problem is you get punished too much. You start playing too long, and they're like, oh, you're an expert, regardless of whether or not you actually die.
Yeah.
If you die, you get punished. Half your stuff is taken away. You lose level. But the game still thinks you're an expert, so we're going to throw all these jellyfish zigzagging everywhere. And the game does get extremely chaotic.
You take something simple, you make it difficult.
Yeah.
It's like air hockey, a simple idea. You take air hockey and then you put 1,000 pucks on it. That's this game.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Anyway, with that being said, we're going to take off. So whatever. I'm Janitor Jake.
I'm Chris K.
And we will see you guys next time.